If your legs feel heavier than they used to, if climbing stairs suddenly leaves you breathless, or if you've noticed weakness, numbness, cramps, or stiffness creeping in little by little, your body may be trying to warn you about something deeper. Most people think weak legs are just part of aging, but what I'm about to tell you might surprise you. In many cases, the first place poor circulation, blood sugar imbalance, and nutritional deficiencies quietly appear is in the legs. And by the time people finally pay attention, the damage may already be harder to reverse. Before we continue, take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I truly believe this information can help more people recognize early warning signs before they become serious problems. I've seen this happen too many times. Someone in their 40s or 50s begins feeling mild weakness in the legs. Maybe they brush it off as stress, getting older, or simply being tired. But then months go by. Their balance changes. Their walking slows down. Their knees ache more. They stop moving as much because it feels uncomfortable. And slowly, the muscles begin weakening even faster. Your legs are not just there to help you walk. They act almost like a mirror reflecting what's happening inside your body. Poor blood flow, inflammation, nerve stress, and unstable blood sugar often affect the lower body first because the legs are farthest from the heart and heavily dependent on healthy circulation. One of the biggest mistakes people make is waiting until pain becomes severe. But weakness often comes before pain. Sometimes it starts as subtle fatigue in the calves. Sometimes it feels like your legs give out more easily than before. Some people notice tingling in the feet at night. Others experience cold feet, muscle twitching, or heaviness after standing for too long. What concerns me most is that many people never connect these signs to nutrition. They focus only on medications or temporary relief, while ignoring the foods their muscles, nerves, and blood vessels desperately need every single day. The good news is that certain foods may help support muscle strength, circulation, nerve health, and energy production naturally when combined with healthy lifestyle habits. And some of these foods are probably sitting in your kitchen right now. What you eat can influence inflammation, it can affect blood flow, it can help stabilize blood sugar levels, and it may even help your muscles recover and function more efficiently as you age. The first food I want to talk about surprises many of my patients because they've spent years avoiding it, not realizing their legs may actually be suffering because of that decision. Eggs have been unfairly feared for years, especially by adults worried about heart health. But most people don't realize that eggs contain several nutrients directly involved in muscle strength, nerve communication, and energy production. And when your legs begin weakening, your body often needs more support in those areas, not less. I want you to think about this carefully. Every step you take depends on signals traveling from your brain through your nerves into your muscles. That process requires nutrients. Without enough protein, B vitamins, and healthy fats, your muscles may struggle to repair themselves efficiently, especially as you get older. I've had patients tell me they constantly feel tired in their legs even after minor activity. Some notice trembling when standing too long. Others wake up with cramps in the calves or stiffness in the thighs. In many cases, they were eating very little protein during the day without realizing how much that can affect muscle maintenance over time. Eggs are one of the most complete protein sources available. They also contain vitamin B12, which is extremely important for nerve health. Low B12 levels have been linked to numbness, tingling sensations, balance issues, and weakness in the legs, especially in older adults. What I'm about to tell you might surprise you. Many people with low energy in their legs are not simply getting old. Sometimes their bodies are quietly lacking the nutrients needed to maintain proper nerve function. The yolk is especially important. That's where many of the nutrients are concentrated. Yet countless people throw it away because they're afraid of cholesterol. Now, This doesn't mean everyone should suddenly eat large amounts of eggs every day. Individual health conditions matter, but for many people, moderate egg consumption as part of a balanced diet can be supportive rather than harmful. Another reason eggs matter is because muscle loss naturally increases with age. After the age of 40, adults begin losing muscle mass more rapidly unless they actively support it through movement and proper nutrition. Weak legs are often one of the first visible signs of that process. And here's something many people overlook. When leg muscles weaken, people move less. When they move less, circulation slows down. Blood sugar control may worsen. Weight gain often follows. Then the weakness becomes even more noticeable. It can turn into a cycle that gradually affects independence and confidence. I've seen people avoid walks they once enjoyed because their legs felt unstable or exhausted too quickly. Some stop traveling. Others become fearful of falling. But small nutritional changes, combined with regular movement and medical guidance, may help support strength and mobility before things progress further. The next food plays a completely different role in the body. It doesn't just support muscles. It may help support circulation itself. And poor circulation is one of the biggest hidden reasons people experience cold, weak, or aching legs. One of the most powerful foods for supporting healthy circulation is something many people already have in their kitchen, but rarely use consistently enough to make a difference. I'm talking about fatty fish like salmon, sardines, mackerel, and tuna. What these foods contain may help explain why some people maintain stronger, healthier legs well into their later years, while others struggle with stiffness, weakness, and poor endurance much earlier than expected. Most people don't realize that your muscles cannot function properly without healthy blood flow. Every step depends on oxygen and nutrients traveling efficiently through your blood vessels into the muscles and nerves of the legs. When circulation becomes less efficient, the legs are often among the first areas to suffer. This can show up in subtle ways at first. Your feet may feel colder than usual. Your calves may tire quickly during walks. You may notice aching after sitting for long periods. Some people even describe a strange heaviness in the legs that becomes worse in the evening. These are symptoms many adults ignore because they seem small at the beginning. But what I'm about to tell you might surprise you. Chronic inflammation inside the body may quietly damage blood vessels over time, especially in people dealing with high blood sugar, excess weight, smoking, or long-term stress. And once circulation begins declining, the muscles and nerves in the legs may not receive the support they need to stay strong. Fatty fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which have been studied for their role in supporting heart and blood vessel health. Omega-3s may help support healthy circulation and reduce certain inflammatory processes linked to vascular stress. This doesn't mean fish is a miracle cure, but regularly including it in a balanced diet may help support the systems your legs depend on every day. I've seen many patients underestimate how closely leg health is connected to heart health. Sometimes the body gives early warnings through the legs long before a person experiences more serious cardiovascular symptoms. That's why persistent weakness, cramping during walking, or numbness should never be ignored. Another important detail is that fish also provides protein, which supports muscle maintenance. This combination of protein plus omega-3s makes fatty fish especially valuable for adults trying to stay active as they age. And there's something emotional I notice in many of my older patients. They don't just miss physical strength. They miss freedom. They miss walking comfortably with family. They miss confidence. They miss feeling capable in their own body. The truth is, protecting your legs is about much more than appearance or fitness. It's about preserving independence for as long as possible. The next food I want to discuss is often overlooked because it seems too simple to matter. But I've seen deficiencies related to this nutrient contribute to weakness, cramps, fatigue, and even difficulty maintaining balance, especially in adults over 50. Bananas may seem ordinary, But I want you to pay close attention to this because many people underestimate how important mineral balance is for muscle function. When your body lacks key electrolytes, your legs are often one of the first places to react. The cramps, twitching, weakness, and sudden fatigue people experience are sometimes linked to nutritional imbalances they never saw coming. I've had patients tell me their legs cramp badly at night. Others describe sudden tightness in the calves while walking or stiffness that appears after only mild activity. Many assume it's simply aging. But what I'm about to tell you might surprise you. In some cases, the body may be struggling to maintain proper muscle contractions because it's not getting enough potassium, magnesium, or hydration. Bananas are well known for their potassium content, and potassium plays an important role in muscle and nerve communication. Your muscles rely on electrical signals to contract and relax properly. When those signals become disrupted, weakness and cramping can become more noticeable. This becomes especially important for people with blood pressure concerns or those taking certain medications that may influence electrolyte levels. Of course, not everyone should increase potassium without speaking to a healthcare professional, particularly individuals with kidney disease or specific medical conditions, but many adults simply aren't eating enough potassium-rich foods in general. Most people don't realize how quickly poor nutrition can affect mobility over time. The body is incredibly adaptive. It compensates quietly for years before symptoms become obvious. You may not notice gradual weakness day by day, but then one morning, climbing stairs suddenly feels harder than it did 6 months ago. Standing from a chair takes more effort. Long walks become exhausting, and once movement decreases, muscle loss can accelerate faster than people expect. There's another reason bananas may be helpful for some individuals. They provide carbohydrates that the body can use for energy. Many older adults eat too little during the day because they're trying to lose weight, or they simply lose their appetite. But without enough fuel, muscles may fatigue more easily. I've seen this happen too many times. Someone becomes afraid of eating because they're worried about blood sugar or weight gain, but they unintentionally weaken their body further by undernourishing themselves. Balance is extremely important. Now, bananas alone will not magically strengthen weak legs. That's not how the human body works. But when combined with protein, healthy circulation, movement, sleep, and proper medical care, nutrient-rich foods may help support the systems your muscles depend on. One thing I always remind my patients is this: weakness is often gradual before it becomes obvious. The body whispers before it screams. And the next food I'm about to mention is strongly connected to one of the biggest hidden causes of leg weakness in adults today: unstable blood sugar and inflammation damaging the nerves little by little over time. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, Swiss chard, and arugula may not sound exciting, but I want you to understand something very important. Some of the most serious problems affecting the legs begin silently inside the blood vessels and nerves long before people notice major symptoms. And diets low in nutrient-dense vegetables are often part of that bigger picture. I've seen patients who believed their leg weakness was simply due to getting older, only to discover they were also dealing with blood sugar instability, elevated inflammation, poor circulation, or vitamin deficiencies affecting nerve function. The body is deeply connected. When one system begins struggling, another system often follows. What I'm about to tell you might surprise you. High blood sugar doesn't only affect energy levels. Over time, it may also place stress on blood vessels and nerves throughout the body. This is one reason some adults develop tingling, numbness, burning sensations, or weakness in the feet and legs. Many don't realize the damage may begin years before symptoms become severe. Leafy greens contain nutrients like magnesium, vitamin K, folate, and antioxidants that may help support circulation and overall metabolic health. Some research also suggests that diets rich in vegetables are linked to healthier blood pressure and improved vascular function, both of which matter tremendously for the legs. And yet so many adults barely eat these foods anymore. Instead, meals become heavily processed, high in sugar, and low in fiber. Over time, the body may become trapped in a cycle of inflammation and unstable energy. People feel more tired, so they move less. Because they move less, muscles weaken further. Then blood sugar control can become even more difficult. I want you to think about how often people ignore fatigue until it begins affecting daily life. They stop taking walks. They avoid stairs. They hold on to railings more tightly. They begin feeling uncertain about their balance. These changes may happen slowly, but emotionally, they can be devastating. I've spoken with patients who quietly admitted they were afraid of falling but didn't want to tell their family. Others stopped participating in social activities because walking became uncomfortable. This is why paying attention to early warning signs matters so much. Leafy greens also provide fiber, which may help support steadier blood sugar levels after meals. And steadier blood sugar often means steadier energy levels throughout the day. Most people don't realize how much energy healthy muscles require. Your legs carry the entire weight of your body every single day. Supporting them nutritionally is not optional as you age. It becomes essential. The next food is one I strongly encourage many adults to reconsider, especially those who constantly feel weak, shaky, or hungry shortly after eating. Because this food may help support muscle stability, blood sugar balance, and long-lasting energy in a way many people completely overlook. Beans and lentils are some of the most underrated foods when it comes to supporting strength, energy, and healthy aging. Most people see them as simple side dishes, but what I'm about to tell you might surprise you. These foods contain a powerful combination of plant protein, fiber, minerals, and slow-digesting carbohydrates that may help support muscle function and steadier blood sugar levels at the same time. And that combination matters more than many people realize. I've seen countless adults rely heavily on processed snacks, sugary drinks, or refined carbohydrates throughout the day. The problem is that these foods can cause sharp rises and crashes in blood sugar, leaving people feeling tired, shaky, hungry, and mentally drained. Over time, unstable blood sugar may also contribute to inflammation and stress on the nerves and blood vessels that support the legs. Some people begin noticing weakness after meals. Others feel exhausted in the afternoon no matter how much they rest. Some experience burning sensations in the feet at night or heaviness in the legs during simple activities. While there can be many medical causes behind these symptoms, nutrition is often an overlooked piece of the puzzle. Beans and lentils digest more slowly than many processed foods, which may help support more stable energy levels. They also contain iron and magnesium, nutrients involved in oxygen transport and muscle function. Without proper oxygen delivery, muscles can fatigue more easily, and here's something important many adults don't hear enough. Muscle weakness is not only about age. Inactivity, poor nutrition, stress, inadequate sleep, and chronic health conditions all work together over time. The body keeps score quietly. I remember one patient in his 60s who told me he thought his active years were simply over. His legs constantly felt weak and unstable. He had stopped gardening, stopped walking regularly, and spent most days sitting because movement felt exhausting. But after working with his healthcare team to improve his nutrition, blood sugar management, activity level, and sleep habits, he gradually regained enough confidence to start moving again. Not perfectly, not overnight, but enough to feel hopeful again. That hope matters. Because once people believe weakness is unavoidable, they often stop trying to protect their health altogether. Beans and lentils may also help people feel fuller longer, which can support healthier eating habits overall. And maintaining a healthy weight may reduce extra strain on the knees, hips, and lower back, areas that directly affect mobility. Your legs are carrying you through life every single day. They deserve attention before major problems develop, not after. And the final food I want to share may be one of the most important of all because it supports something that weak legs often desperately need: healthy blood flow and oxygen delivery throughout the body. Beets are one of the most fascinating foods I discuss with patients concerned about circulation, stamina, and leg fatigue. Most people walk right past them in the grocery store without realizing they contain natural compounds that may help support blood flow throughout the body. And when blood flow improves, muscles and nerves may receive oxygen and nutrients more efficiently. What I'm about to tell you might surprise you. Some people with tired, heavy legs are not simply lacking strength. Sometimes their muscles are struggling because circulation is not as efficient as it once was. Beets contain naturally occurring nitrates, which the body can convert into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide helps blood vessels relax and widen, supporting healthy circulation. This is one reason beet juice has become popular among athletes and older adults interested in endurance and physical performance. Now, I want to be very clear. Beets are not a miracle treatment. They won't suddenly erase medical problems or replace professional care. But including nitrate-rich vegetables in a balanced lifestyle may help support vascular health, especially when combined with regular movement, proper hydration, and healthy blood sugar management. I've seen this happen too many times. People wait for a crisis before taking their circulation seriously. They ignore cold feet, numbness, swelling, or cramping because the symptoms come and go. But the body often gives subtle warnings long before major complications appear. And one of the most heartbreaking things I witness is regret. People telling me they wish they had paid attention earlier, wishing they had taken walks more consistently, wishing they had cared for their blood sugar sooner, wishing they had listened when their body first began whispering instead of waiting until it started screaming. The truth is, your legs are deeply connected to your independence. The ability to walk comfortably, climb stairs, travel, shop, play with grandchildren, or simply stand confidently without fear. These are things many people take for granted until they begin slipping away. But there is encouraging news. The body often responds positively when given better support. Nutritious foods, regular physical activity, proper sleep, hydration, stress management, and medical guidance can all work together to support healthier aging. Small daily habits matter more than dramatic short-term changes. If you've noticed weakness, numbness, cramping, balance issues, or unusual fatigue in your legs, don't ignore it. Speak with a qualified healthcare professional, especially if symptoms are persistent or worsening. Early attention can make a meaningful difference. And please remember this: aging does not automatically mean giving up strength, movement, or confidence. Many adults remain active and capable well into their 70s and beyond because they consistently support their bodies instead of neglecting them. Your body has been speaking to you every day.